Bulavinaka and welcome to this episode of Nations Business. The MPA 30 by 30 is a campaign to protect 30% of Fiji's oceans by the year 2030. By creating a network of marine protected areas, the campaign aims to safeguard the health and biodiversity of the ocean. In doing so, it also helps in combating the effects of climate change. Marine protected areas are seen by many as essential in order to protect marine habitats and the life they support. By creating sanctuaries for species to grow and reproduce, they can help to restore healthy marine populations both inside and beyond the protected areas themselves. In 2019, government announced its intention to develop and adopt an oceans policy to manage 100% of its ocean and meet its 30% MPA commitment by 2030. Under this commitment, new offshore marine protected areas have been identified with planned effective and thoughtful consultations with local communities to follow suit. An important component was the implementation of the LAU seascape strategy with a focus on improving fisheries and establishing protected areas. The first phase of consultations on the LAU seascape and the Marine Protected Area 30 by 30 initiative officially commenced on the 18th of October 2022 at Loma Loma village in Vanuatu. The consultation was conducted in Lakemba, Vivia, and LAU. Led by Conservation International in collaboration with the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the consultation was carried out in the remainder of the 13 districts of the LAU province, making LAU the first province in Fiji to have undertaken the national consultation on the proposed offshore marine protected areas network.
The primary purpose of these consultations have been to consult the communities so they understand where these offshore marine areas are in respect to their traditional fishing grounds, the impact this may have, the benefits it may have, and to answer any questions that any of the community members may have, and to gather information on how much support there is for these offshore protected areas. These are proposed offshore areas, and the information that we've gleaned from these consultations can then be presented back to decision makers in government to progress the next steps in designating these areas.
The main message that we're trying to take across. Number one is just to consult the districts of LAU, the people here in LAU, of one, the proposal by government, and two is to get the feedback on the proposed sites. So within the LAU seascape boundary or within the LAU province, out of the 30%, there is 8.26% of that proposed boundary falls within the LAU province. That is what we're here to do. We are here to consult them on what are their thoughts, and if they have any reservations, and also to document their comments or their reservations.
The Marine Protected Area Network will help reverse ecological decline and rebuild the maritime ecosystems and species that communities and local coastal economies depend on.
Talking about the benefits, I think for the island of LAU, like we have three proposed MPAs that are towards the south of LAU. We're not talking about MPAs when the area has been closed off. If it is closed off, I think one of the direct benefits will be the fish.
Response received following the consultations, according to Conservation International, is encouraging, reflecting the level of understanding the communities have about marine protected areas.
The response from phase one, I think we really got a good response from phase one. Same with phase two. We haven't had a no in the. We haven't had a person or say no to the proposed MPs, but we had to really dig deep into the fact that the proposed MPs are outside the the Ingol or the Kanakan. Few of the chiefs thought that the proposed MPs will be within, but given the presentations that were done in the hall, I think we made it clear, and with the help of the maps, we were able to show them that the areas that proposed areas that have been demarcated are actually offshore and far from the Ingol.
Since 2019, the International Union for Conservation of Nature has been working closely with Conservation International in the province of LAU and other provinces such as LAU.
One, we have provided technical assistance in data collection and analysis. We have provided our GIS team to draft some of the maps that will inform the LAU group and indeed Fiji on the areas that need to be protected from a scientific point of view. We have also, through our colleague in the marine program, Alisi, assisted with the awareness right throughout the LAU group, Tailevu and the other provinces in Fiji. We will continue to work very closely with Conservation International, as they are the lead agency in the work that they carry out, and we will continue to provide whatever technical support, scientific backgrounding or ground truthing to the areas that are chosen to be protected under the LAU seascape.
The data collated from the consultation will be instrumental in the implementation of the proposed MPA boundaries, sanctuary zones that will ensure communities are able to fish in their waters for generations to come.
Again, it'll be really interesting to extract that data when we get back into Suva to see exactly how many people were interviewed. However, one of the main goals of this trip has been to engage key members in the community. So even though we may not, and we as in the entire group that were on this trip, may not have interacted with everyone, the message can be passed on to the wider community. And then any questions can be easily answered from all of the information that's been provided as part of these consultations.
IUCN works hand in hand with Conservation International, who has taken the lead role in the LAU Seascape MPA consultation. Also involved in this joint effort is the private sector, specifically the fishing industry, the Ministry of Fisheries, Ministry of Lands and provincial councils in the country that have a stake in the 30 by 30 initiative.
For us, it's about partnerships. We bring certain skill sets to the table. Likewise, government brings certain advantages to the table. Conservation International brings certain skill sets. It is about working together to achieve that common goal that by 2030, we will achieve the 30%.
2030, well, the government of Fiji made a commitment in the UN's Ocean Conference in Portugal last year that the LAU Seascape will be used as a national demonstration site for these offshore protected areas. As you've said, the LAU Seascape is very significant. It represents 26% of Fiji's entire EEZ, but has a very small population, less than 1% of Fiji's population. So the significance that the LAU Seascape has for Fiji as a whole is very, very great. The next step now is to push forward with these designation of these offshore protected areas and continue our valuable works as part of the LAU Seascape Initiative 2018 to 2030.
Service providers from government departments and ministries paid visits to villagers and members of the community who commonly use their services during the NPA 30 by 30 Phase 2 public consultations in the LAU group. Services exclusively available in towns and on the mainland were delivered to clients' doorsteps. These service providers were on the ground under the direction of the LAU Provincial Administrator as part of the visiting government team's all-inclusive strategy. With all hands on deck, the Ministry of Health and Medical Services team is part of what is known as a holistic approach to government.
So far we've visited 3 islands, which includes Moala Island, Totoya and Matuku. So from these 3 islands, 2 have health centers, which is Moala and Matuku, whereas in Totoya it has a nursing station. So part of our services that we are conducting into the communities, we're doing outpatient services, both general and special outpatients. We are also reviewing cases that's currently that are inpatients. We also have a dental team that's on board. We have a school team that's doing school outreach to some of the schools in these islands. We have a dietitian who has been doing dietary counseling to most of the community members, and also a health inspector who has been doing school inspections, canteen inspections, and also the renewal of business licenses. But so far, to conclude from these 3 islands, the response has been very positive, and I'm truly grateful to all the community members in the 3 islands for ensuring that they come out and seek the services that's being provided when we come like this to the tour. So people have been coming to be checked in the health centers, and yeah, it has been very positive. We've had a lot of people coming in to seek health care and health services.
The response we are getting from the community is massive, like huge turnouts in cases of people in need of dental treatment. So far we had about 17 cases from Moala, 17 from Totoya, and today we had about 10 patients here currently at Matuku. But what we have noticed is that there is a lot of people in the community who come, but due to time limitations we are not able to manage all and everyone. However, that would be something that we would work on for the next trip. I think it's a very good opportunity for all the government workers to go as one, whereby everything can be tackled in that one trip. Plus, like in terms of the dental requirements, I would say that when we go, since there's no dental officer allocated along the Samoala subdivision, there is a lot of patients in need. So it's a very good opportunity for us to be part of this trip. There was a lot of positive feedback from the patients, because some of them are coming in and telling that they have been waiting for months for the team to visit to get their necessary treatment. So I think they were very thankful for this trip and this opportunity.
For us, the Reproductive and Family Health Association of Fiji, our work is to complement and supplement to the Ministry of Health. So we work in partnership with the team Ministry of Health in the Eastern Division. My work in regards to the Matuku area is to try and work with the health team, identifying the issues that is on the rise in the island. So we work with the nurse here, trying to identify some of the issues such as STI, teenage pregnancy and GBB. At the moment, we are grateful that there is no such case that has been reported. However, we will work with the ministry in the future in trying to conduct a training on MISP to all the clinical representatives in the Eastern Division. And MISP is a minimum initial services package. And this is the training that we provide to all service providers. especially in the areas where natural disasters usually occur. And we are hoping in the future that we'll provide this training to the team in the Eastern Division.
The team of the bank from the South Pacific met with villagers either for personal bank account queries or payment of social welfare pensions to recipients. The team closely collaborating with the Social Welfare Department and Post Fiji, which enables payments in the islands.
Right now, well, we're working with the social welfare team. The response is good. They're coming around, bringing in their inoperative accounts, trying to reactivate them. We are trying to update the social welfare recipients to introducing them to the card system, so it's easier for them to use it rather than waiting for the vouchers which come in late. Sometimes it come in 2 or 3 weeks late, which they find it difficult. Our department looks after our clients at the maritime and rural areas. These are BSP clients. We work with the post office. They are agents in these areas. Our services here, it's just general services. We have our FPOS where we are online. They use FPOS cards. They can automatically do withdrawals and deposits. We also have our cards. If they lose their cards, they don't have to go to SUVA. All they have to do is come to the post office, bring in their ID cards, and we can process their lost cards. That's including PIN resets. If they forget their PINs, that is all done here on the island. They don't have to come across to the mainland to do that. Our service has been here for some time. That's including right from the island of Moala, Totoya, Matuku, right up to LAU. The service there are just like in Suva. The transactions are online, losing their cards, all the general services in Suva. One thing we face here is the clients, they have yet to use their cards regularly, or to empower them, we need to empower them on savings account. Most of them, we have opened the accounts for the last 3 years, but after a few years of our visit to the islands, they still have their cards, but they are inoperative. So we are facing that challenge for them to have that idea or to use the bank just to save money. Right now, I think they are still saving money at home, but yeah. We're trying to do financial literacy. We're going around doing financial literacy to all these islands. We're introducing them to the banking services. I think the next step is to encourage them to use the banking service here on the island. Please use the bank to save money. It's free. Yeah, it's free. We're trying to encourage people to save money. For the accounts that we're giving out to the rural and maritime, we've removed the fees there in a way just to encourage them to save money and save it in the bank. So come along, use our services in the bank. You don't have to go to Suva or to the mainland to do all this, opening of new accounts, replacing of cards or whatever. The post office is our agent here in the islands, so make use of them, please.
In the MPA 30x30 consultation, service providers were given the opportunity to share their areas of interest and operation to community members and villagers in the LAU group. Rural and remote maritime communities got the chance to hear from Biosecurity of Fiji and their responsibility in protecting Fiji's agricultural sector from the introduction and spread of animal and plant pests and diseases.
After the two Tikin meeting Monday, Tuesday, and today is the third day in Matuku, I received a great response, great feedback from the meeting, from the council, and also from the villages in regards to our procedures and our responsibility, and also the important roles that we play, for protecting Fiji from the invasive of exotic pests and disease. That is one of the core roles that I am here to represent biosecurity, highlighting to the Tikina to keep a coastal watch for any yacht coming around your coastal, for them to keep also in active mode in terms of any of the incursion of the exotic pests and disease. I think for most of the ministries that are here today, we work together. The Fiji Police Force, the Royal Military, the Royal Fiji, the Navy, the Royal Navy, and mostly the Itoki Affairs, the Conservation International. I think it's first of all we thank the Conservation International for inviting biosecurity to be part of this Tikina meeting as our work aligns together. For the procedures and rules of biosecurity, I think we're targeting most of the villages that along our LAU group. As most of these islands, they have not been visited by biosecurity previously. This is a good chance for them to know what is biosecurity, because previously they know there's a Fiji Quarantine Inspection Division, and now they have a clear glimpse of what biosecurity's role and responsibility, and a good chance to meet the people and discuss what we can do further for awareness and for other activities.
Post Fiji is responsible for providing postal and courier services across the country, including the Maritime Islands. However, their service has grown beyond the traditional duty, and the team from Suva is visiting the LAU group to ensure Post Fiji continues to meet the service demand on the ground. Capacity planning, process improvement, and technology and automation are some strategies the team hopes to use to effectively meet service demand.
We are here to come and improve the standard of service that has been provided by Post Fiji. And at the same time, we also do a lot of verification of our work in terms of doing the building assessments, doing what needs to be required in the post offices. But we have also a plan that needs to be carried out. But in this trip, we have also brought in a rep from Maximize. These people are here to do the job evaluation exercise for each postmaster in the island. People in Suva, they do not know what actually work they are doing here. See? So the Maximize is here to carry out their work and assess what market rate they are paid into. We have also OHS and NFA staff that has joined us. The last time they came in was 2019. It's a lap of 3 years. So they are here to actually assess and provide us with the OHS certificate and the NFA certificate. Our major objective for this post office is to become automated. We are trying to put computer inside, so we can also have data received online. At this point of time, it is offline. It takes us, depends on the boat, when we need information to receive in Suva. So our first priority is to get the 7 or 8 stations that is in the LAU group to have automated in the next 3 to 6 months, I would say. That will be the first thing we'll do. Apart from that, we will also need to provide the services that we enjoy in the mainland needs to be enjoyed by the people in the island here. For example, putting the deep freezers here, selling of frozen items, selling of soft drinks, and also providing work opportunity to each island once we start with our maintenance and repair works.
Maintenance is critical for ensuring the safety, longevity, efficiency, and compliance of a building. It is a cost-effective investment that can prevent costly repairs and enhance the value of any given property. And that is the specific area of focus for personnel from the Ministry of Public Works, on tour during the MPA 30 by 30 consultation in LAU.
During these 14 days, our role and scope was to survey all the government properties within the LAU area, within the LAU group. Basically, to plan out a maintenance plan for the next 5, maybe 3, 4, 5 years to come, beginning with Lakemba. This year, we're currently undergoing six government residents here at the hospital, with plans to further our reach into the other islands that we've scoped. What we are doing, this is what we call is initial data assessment. So we will do our scoping, and then we'll choose according to the priority or based on the building condition, which buildings to undertake, but government property-wise. So once that is done, then our team from the division, which consists of our plumbers, our electricians, and our builders to come and do the DDA, detailed data assessment, which then will bring forth the estimates for a project or a building to be maintained. For our department, we are starting to reach out to maritime, because we see that in terms of transportation, in terms of the locations they are, where they are located, it is quite difficult for maintenance to be carried out. So our focus for our section is to first reach out to the maritime, and then we'll move on to the in-house, which is in Bitilim. I believe that this is the first time that our department is carrying out this IDA for this maritime location. So in the long run, it will tremendously help and assist us, our implementation-wise, and also our staff that are located in these maritime areas. And also with this 30 by 30, I am very thankful to the Conservation International for funding this trip, for enabling us to come and do our scope for the LAU region. To our government residents, our officers, I believe it is long overdue since our last, that maybe as I have come through to some of the locations, some areas, I would like to say that help is on the way, and we'll be coming to your location shortly.
And that was Nation's Business this week. Remember, you can view this week's show on Fiji Government YouTube page. Be sure to join us again at the same time next week. Till then, take care and Mother Manda.